Florida State just landed another huge commitment in cornerback Fintrell, or otherwise known as Deuce Cypress. AB, tell me about this kid.
Yeah, Deuce. This is a big time land. The number one, I believe he's the number one or number two cornerback in the portal, depending on where you look. The hands down the most proven portal commodity when it comes to experience. I think if he was number two, there was a player out of Texas A&M who didn't play a whole lot this past year. It was some 5-star years ago that they ranked first. So yeah, Deuce Cypress, second big time win. You beat out Auburn, you beat out USC, you beat out Ohio State, LSU for his services. So you're playing with the big boys. So it's obviously a big time get. He's out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, out of kind of down there in Clemson territory. I wonder if they had any interest. 6 foot, 184 pounds. Second team All ACC. You see some of the accolades here on the screen. Pro Football Focus, first team All ACC. Phil Steele third. Blah blah blah. All that nonsense. But those things that don't mean a whole lot. Let's take a look at his numbers, though. I mean, I think his numbers they speak for themselves. 14 passes defense, no interceptions this past year, but we know that Virginia team was a struggle. Yeah, putting it kindly. You know what we do best, though? We talk about the film. Let's get the film on. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, so the Cypress kid, he is thought of as a shutdown corner. This is really the third big get from Florida State that's just been highly contested, right? So you had Byers and Fisk that basically anybody would have taken. All right, so this is the full game against Syracuse, so we'll try to point him out to you. He's number 23. So we like to watch the full games because it kind of gives a better image more complete image of the player. So there he is at the top of the screen.
So we're seeing all of his defensive clips. So he may not be involved in all these plays.
So this is him.
Yep.
This is him making this tackle out here. So he's kind of in a catch man scenario. He comes off his man to make the tackle. So you can kind of see his size.
Yeah.
Here he is at the bottom of the screen.
Looks long. He kind of looks built like Jarvis Brownlee, in my opinion. Has some length. Nice to see him make an open field tackle. That's an area that
he is at the top.
You know, if you think back to the Oklahoma game, they struggled tackling in the secondary against Oklahoma. It's an area they need to improve upon.
Yeah, I think you're seeing more and more. All of the corners this staff has seemed to be targeting has been more on this 6 foot, 180 pound kind of build with the longer arms. I mean,
if you told me I was looking at AZ Thomas standing out there right now, I would probably say, yeah, sure. They all tend to look alike.
Right, AZ Thomas.
They've got a cookie cutter for what they want these guys to look like, and
you want someone that can defend speed in space and size in space.
Yep.
So here's the bottom.
The game's become so diverse. All right, so this is going to be a ball in his direction, highly contested.
Yeah, so you can see he's kind of, if we go back to that, it's hard to see kind of the size of this receiver, but
we know how well the ESPN cameras are in these games,
especially the Syracuse games. So yeah, I think it's going to be harder to get as much from the film of a cornerback. They're kind of going his direction. You see him make a good play on that hitch route, which is a very difficult route to defend because it's 15 yards downfield. You turn your hips like he's going to go vertical, then you have to cut back down on it. We saw him make a play.
See a lot of base back pedals, no zone pedals or anything like that. So
yeah, they're putting him out on an island out here against the outside receiver.
A little nice and patient there. He pressed the outside, not going to let him get to the outside. Like to see him being more physical against his blocker. Here he is right now. He's really patient. We've seen Florida State guys not be so patient and get beat.
Yeah, I'd like to see what happens after that receiver crosses his path, if he's able to turn his hips fluidly. He's at the top of the screen here.
Let's run it back. Oh, he didn't do anything. He wasn't in on the play.
He's at the top here.
I'd love to see him matched up on Gadsden.
Yeah, that'd be a good. Unfortunately, they put Gadsden in the slot a
so
lot.
much. Yeah.
So he's at the bottom of the screen. We can't really see him. I think it's kind of telling that Syracuse isn't going after him very much.
Mm-hmm. And Schrader showed he'll throw it wherever he thinks this guy's going to be open, and this might be it at him now.
No, it's not. So we can alternatively, in a little bit, bring up some highlights where you can kind of see his best. So is this him getting involved in the run game?
I wouldn't call it involved.
Yeah, he's at the top of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's at the bottom of the screen here. Here we go. They zoomed out a little bit.
And zooming in. Nice drive on that.
Here he is making the play
Communicating
calls
it.
on defense.
Yeah, you got to like that.
They've got him in run fits.
Okay, that's a nice fit. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there.
Right. So there's a decent chance you see him kind of playing in this boundary corner role at Florida State. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what teams do to boundary corners. They motion the receiver, which basically forces this guy to take a gap.
Yeah, they want him to have to fit the run game, and they trust their backs against the cornerbacks. I mean, he doesn't make this play, but he's involved, and he doesn't allow it to bounce and get outside of him, which is good.
Yeah, so I think now that we've seen a little bit of his
Let's see one more here. Maybe they throw at him. All right, here's his zone. So here's his zone turn. So he's nice pick.
Yep. Not him that made the pick, but he was defending the guy.
Yeah, they play a little zone here. It looks like.
So, yeah.
So when I say zone, he's opening his hips up, and he's not just on a straight back pedal. He's gonna.
Right, he's got his eyes locked on the quarterback. That generally means you're not in man coverage.
Yeah, he's gonna do some basketball slide.
Let's see. Oh, that's a nice little cut. So let's see if we can't get back to that.
Is that him? That's not him though. He comes off, doesn't he? It's hard to tell.
There's a backside safety that makes an interception, but just so they're running some sort of dig route across the middle of the field.
You lose him here, but then he drives on this.
I mean, look at that. He's there.
Yeah, he's got it defended very well.
Yeah, this is the best clip we could probably find. This is probably better than a lot of interceptions. So usually this is a pretty easy man beater route for the offense. That's why Schrader's throwing this out of the break. He's expecting this to be a win.
He's reading Schrader's eyes, so he understands what's coming here.
Just look, he's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
he beats
really
the
nice.
receiver across the screen.
It's a really nice play. That was a great look.
Yeah, it was. All right, that's not him. So let's watch some highlights.
Hey, Syracuse again.
Yeah, we just hadn't gotten there yet. Yeah, this is the play we already saw.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at the top of the screen here. That's a good
nice physical finish.
Good change of direction.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being asked to play in a cover 3 zone. So he's got this deep zone. So Syracuse knows this takes the easy completion, but to limit this to 5 yards is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll tell you, any weaker arm, that thing's picked and going the other way.
Like this?
The wink.
Yeah, I think this is very similar to what we saw before with the in route, where he recognizes that this is going to be a corner route, and he actually gets beat off the break.
I think he's baiting that throw.
And Howell just floats it a little bit too much. He makes a break. You just see his length here.
Mm-hmm. He can run.
Let's see what they got next. I think he's racked up a few picks in his time. So
I mean, this gives you a true number 1 lockdown corner. Now you're looking at the other spot. You're developing.
Oh, here he is on Gadsden.
Developing Duke Cooper. You're developing A.Z. Thomas, Jerry and Jones. Maybe slides into the nickel role a little bit more for you next year.
So Gadsden, potential NFL receiver one day, is going to sit down in this little zone, hook zone here. So Cypress is dropping in the cover 3 zone that we talked about earlier. But you see he sees this route sit down and he drives on it and he gets the interception. I mean, that's just a big time play. That's a play that really you haven't seen FSU corners make. You know, they've been there, they just haven't made
Right.
the play that changes the game, you know? Maybe we can get a better angle here.
You're going to bring in a lot of experience with him. You know, these last few games, you've seen a lot of rookie mistakes. Duke Cooper, Kevin Knowles, AZ Thomas. We saw all those guys make young cornerback mistakes this year. You bring in a guy with experience like this, you hope that he becomes a leader in that room, helps them with their development too, on top of the coaching. Hopefully continues to improve. Oh, there's a nice play.
Yeah, he does a good job of capping this route.
Yeah, he capped it.
Basically means no one's going to make this play but him. Okay, so I think that kind of is enough film. We kind of see what he's going to bring to the table. So give me a quick summary of this, guys. Give me a summary of his skill set, what he's going to bring to FSU. Where do you see him being played?
I think he's your number one corner. You know, they don't do as much of the boundary and field stuff. They've moved guys around, so we'll see. He might be a player that travels every game if a team's got an elite receiver and they want to match him up there. I think you're going to bring him in. You're going to play your man match stuff with him. He shows the ability to bait quarterbacks and has some savviness and experience to him. So you're going to pencil him right into your man match stuff and let him ride and hope that these guys can continue to improve their communication and get that stuff down. And I mean, I think this is a big time get. He's one of the top ranked portal guys for a reason. You're gonna be better off having him.
Yeah, I think I agree. And I think what's so important about having a lockdown corner in this kind of modern defense is it allows you to move your safeties around. So if a team does trips, you can have him alone on the backside and cheat your safeties up into the box or cheat them to the other side and give other players that might be struggling more help. And it's looking like FSU, I mean, with the recent signing of Fabian Lovett, and the elite defensive tackle transfer class they brought in, if you can shore up one or two of the defense's offense's wide receivers, then those safeties are free to be moved around and used in blitzes and run support and helping kind of garner the rest of the pass defense. So I think this is an exciting get, and I think that they're trying to build something here.
Well, we know that they wanted to play a ton of too high this year. They wanted to eliminate big plays down the field in the passing game and let the run game fit itself with a 6-man box as much as they could. I mean, this allows you to now you're saying, all right, we're going to take this player away with Deuce Cypress. Now we can do more stuff. Now we can get our safeties more involved in the run game. We can blitz them more and up our pressure packages. It just allows you, having a lockdown corner allows you to do a lot more stuff.
Yep. So I think this is an exciting take. I think this is every bit as exciting as any other transfer FSU's brought in. And yeah, I mean, they're just killing the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And so really
let's ride 2023. Let's go, baby.